One of the Twin Cities' most beloved and honored chefs has died.
Jack Riebel was the chef and owner of the Lexington in St. Paul. He opened Butcher and the Boar, cooked at the Dakota in Minneapolis, La Belle Vie in Stillwater. Riebel was diagnosed with a rare cancer more than 2 years ago. He was a close friend of mine. We sat down to talk as he faced what he knew was coming just 3 weeks ago. Anyone who's followed food thinks Jack Riebel and chef.
Right.
Do you define yourself differently now?
So much of the identity piece, like you said, is I'm Chef Jack, and I have been for 35 years. I think that it's really important to understand that maybe now my purpose was different. Like you said, maybe it's gathering people and trying to emote some love into the world and bring people together. I know it's brought parts of my family together, which is really, really good. I think that I can rest my head. I kind of lived things on my own terms, and I did what I wanted to, and I created the way I wanted to. I mean, I'm actually really fortunate in a lot of ways. Not everybody gets the opportunities that I've been given to, open as many restaurants as I have, and opportunities to be creative and be successful, and I'm grateful for that. So I don't regret any of it.
Yeah.
I would do it again tomorrow.
Not that there's any such thing as closure. I think people have this idea that oh, okay, I got to tell Jack how much I loved him.
Right.
Well.
It's kind of like, he has a good cancer, right? I don't know what that means.
No, none of it's good, right? It's not good, and there's no closure. There will never be closure, but I think the fact that, the people who care about you got to spend this much time. So much time. Yeah,
and we curated a lot of cool experiences and got to do fun things. Is it a blessing or a curse, right? We were talking about that earlier. There's some recent reporting on the fact that doctors would choose cancer to die of than most things because you get the most time. But is the most time also a blessing? I don't know. I feel like it is, so I'm grateful for it. I mean, one of the most tragic things for me is I didn't just get sick at a tough time. It was in the middle of a pandemic. I mean, who could have predicted that all this would happen? The hardest time, when I actually felt good enough in the beginning and probably strong enough to do more. I think anybody should be happy if they've touched that many lives, So.
Are you scared?
Yeah, but I'm not afraid. Of course, everybody's scared to die. But, I was talking to Catherine yesterday, and what's the difference if you're doing this when you're 70 and you're 55? Everybody wants more time, right? It's always going to be too soon, right? I don't know that you can really measure it in time. It's just, you're hopeful that in the time that you had, you did the most that you could. And so, that's what I cling to.
That's what it is, right?
There's
something about watching how someone dies that makes you think about how you want to live.
Interesting. I like that. I love you, brother.
I love you, too. Jack Riebel survived by so many friends, so many of us who have loved his food, and those of us who were lucky enough to love him as a man. His wife, Catherine, you heard him mention there. She has been a hero through all of this. His family started a scholarship fund in his memory to help train the next generation of cooks at St. Paul College. Just a couple weeks ago, Heather, St. Paul College brought over an honorary diploma for him, which was really cool.
Right.
So it's just been incredible hearing all of the stories since Monday morning when Jack passed as the sun came up. He was a big viewer of this program.
Yes.
I would get texts during the show telling me I looked tired or telling me sometimes he liked my tie. Yeah. Sometimes.
I mean, he was such a good friend of yours, and you were such a good friend to him all throughout this, allowing him and helping him to continue to live life. He said it in there that you did the most that you could with the time that you had.
Yeah.
And he sure did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And it's professionally, personally.
It's a lesson for all of us.
Right.
And the thing is, I will say, I've never gone through this before. A friend.
A close friend.
A close friend.
Who you spent a lot of time with.
Yeah, what the lesson is to show up. I think we all feel gosh, what do I do? What do I do? And we all say oh, let me know if you need something.
Right.
Well, that's not it. What you need to do is just be there.
Well, you and I had talked about this before, is that, you might have been scared to be there.
Oh, gosh,
But you have to overcome that fear and do it.
The reward comes to you. The reward came to me from this experience. So, very good. Lots of memories with Chef Jack. Glad we could share a little bit with you.
Thank you for sharing that story.